Have you ever bought a new car and now everywhere you look you see it? Or maybe you learned a new word and now you're hearing it everywhere too. We've all been there, and no, you're not going crazy, nor is it a coincidence. Your subconscious has simply begun to notice the things that you used to ignore. I'd like to introduce you all to my 8-month-old daughter, Aria. Aria comes everywhere with me, networking events, conferences, black tie dinner, and even speeches. However, today my husband's here to take her away because she popped out 2 teeth last night, and so we're definitely not going to be manning a speech with her here. And now, perhaps that you've all met Aria, you'll begin to notice more babies everywhere. And once again, it isn't because more women have given birth recently. This is known as the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, or, if you would like to remember a more simple term, the frequency illusion. This phenomenon is when a newly learned idea or concept pops up regularly in everyday life. I first began to notice this when I was diagnosed with a rare form of thyroid cancer at 20 years old. Suddenly, everywhere I went and everywhere I looked, I saw cancer. I realized I was vulnerable, that we're all vulnerable. There's something about having such a scary experience so young, which really accelerates your internal drive and your fire. But why am I telling you this? My thyroid cancer showed me the power of the subconscious. Before my diagnosis, the concept of myself getting cancer was far off, but now it has become my principal source of anxiety. Whilst I was recovering, I focused on building an amazing support network of absolutely epic people. The only problem with surrounding yourself with such amazing people is wondering how they seem to attract so many amazing opportunities. I felt like they were just lucky. I mean, I was pretty sure I was good at responding to opportunities, and I definitely had more than the average person. But why did it seem like some people got more opportunities than others? You may have heard of manifestation. Stay with me here. So manifestation is a pseudoscientific self-help strategy that claims you can achieve a really big goal by focusing your thoughts on the desired outcome. It's also often associated with the universe giving you what you desire. In the past, I would dismiss this. It was all a little bit too ridiculous. That was until I was talking to a friend, one of these friends who seemed to get all the opportunities. They swore by it, so I decided to try it. And what did I find? I found that it worked. And trust me, I was just as surprised as you are. As an occupational therapist, I love science and evidence-based research. So I did just that. I researched, and I found the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. Everything seemed to make a lot more sense. So, this is my theory. The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon is the scientific reason that manifestation and affirmation actually work. Not because the universe is giving you what you desire, but because you've primed your subconscious to see opportunities that others might not. Even when there were barriers, I was able to see opportunities. I enrolled in a Masters of Business Administration, MBA, at the University of Queensland, and I'm the youngest applicant to ever be accepted. But this is no mistake. When I was looking at the program, all I could see were the requirements. Required 4 years full-time management experience with 2 years in a management role. Post-graduation. And as a new graduate, I obviously did not have this. But that was until I noticed the small fine print at the bottom of the page. Admission at the discretion of the MBA director. Small fine print is something I usually don't notice, let alone actually read, but this time I did. I noticed it because my subconscious was primed. I had internalized a goal of completing the MBA. So, what did I do next? I emailed the MBA director and I stated my case. I explained that I had run multiple businesses during my undergraduate degree, and I questioned why this was any less significant than running them after. They agreed, and I got in. The same goes for my daughter. From 9 days old, I was taking Aria to events with me, and it usually goes a lot smoother than that. But when I took her with me, I began to notice that the people who I would meet would almost auto-select themselves to be people who supported mothers and women in business. By internalizing my goal of balancing career and motherhood, I was able to notice these trends and repeat them. Because of this, I was able to build an absolutely amazing and genuine network of people that aligned with both my goals and my values. So, how can you use the frequency illusion to achieve your biggest goals and ambitions? There are 3 simple steps. The first one is nothing new. Put yourself in the right situation. I understand privilege does come into this. Some people get more opportunities based on where they were born or who they are. Like myself, I've been very lucky. That isn't to say you don't have the ability to place yourself into environments that are likely to offer you these opportunities, such as being here in the audience today. This is how a 9-month pregnant Amelia found herself at 3 to 4 networking events per week. These events usually did not require an invite and were more often than not free. The second step is the most important. It's the one that's missing. It's the one that utilizes the concept of the frequency illusion and priming your subconscious. I realized I had built an incredible knack of being able to see opportunities, no matter how distant they may seem to others. Every job, board role, and opportunity that has presented itself to me has come about in exactly the same way. So, I meet someone. That's my brain. And before myself or the other person are even aware of it, my subconscious has set out on a sort of mission to draw a parallel between one of my goals or something I want to achieve and who this person is. I know how it sounds. It isn't calculating. Once your brain has been primed, it's just the Beta-Minhoff phenomenon in action. And once you start doing it, there is really no stopping it. And sometimes, if you're lucky, it's these very people that offer you the opportunity that you might have saw years in advance. They offer you this opportunity because once you become aware of the parallel, the way you communicate actually changes. The topics you talk about and the skills you demonstrate totally change to align with your goals. But it doesn't just work for business goals. It works for personal and life ones too. As you've all probably gathered by now, I've always had a goal of having an absolutely amazing family, but also an amazing career, and I was absolutely not about to compromise. Anyone who knew me before I met my husband or had my daughter won't be surprised of the amazing lengths I've gone to make this a reality. By internalizing my goal, I was able to prime my subconscious to always be on the lookout for something that would get me closer to where I wanted to go. From choosing the right partner to keeping my eye open for opportunities that would allow me to grow my career whilst also spending time with my daughter, which is a whole nother TED talk in itself. The third and final step is to respond. Unsurprisingly, you do actually have to say yes and follow through when an opportunity is offered to you. You need to let go of your fears and your anxieties and make saying yes part of your vocabulary. A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. These 3 simple steps are how I ended up where I am today. A 25-year-old on several for- and not-for-profit boards, completing my MBA, working as a consultant, running my startup with my 3 amazing co-founders, all while raising my beautiful daughter. I hope you see the world differently now. By using your subconscious, rather than forgetting it's there, you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. Put yourself in the right situation, see the opportunity, and say yes. What's stopping you?